Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I should have adjusted this mic just a little bit before I propped this open. Okay. Today, as always, we're doing some more historic Brawl. Specifically, we're doing Lagomos, Hand of Hatred. I want to open this with a brief story. It is a story about my quote-unquote creative process for making historic Brawl decks, and it goes like this. Sometimes I see a card, I'm like, this is really cool, I want to do something with it. Sometimes I see a card, and I'm like, oh, I can do something janky or weird or clever, or this card does something incredibly unusual, I can do something clever with it. Sometimes I log into Arena and see that I have 3 quests to play like 30 black or red cards, and I go, okay, guess I'll make a deck with a black-red commander. This deck is option number 3. If you look at Lagomos after I talk about him and you're like, wow, this card's awesome, I really want to make a deck with him, do not copy my deck. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's talk about Lagomos first, and then we'll talk about how this deck ended up being terrible and why I might even just be patching it and fixing it as the stream goes on. So, Lagomos, Hand of Hatred, 1 colorless, a black, a red, for a 1/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Tap, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. That's pretty cool. Activate only if 5 or more creatures have died this turn. So, in order to try, let's talk about why this deck is bad. In order to try to meet Lagomos' second condition for being able to do his tap to search, I decided to make a deck where, you know what, you could probably do a Paradox Engine combo list with Lagomos now that I think about it, but I'm so tired of Paradox Engine at this point. I decided to try to make a list where there's a fair amount of sacrifice synergy, right? And a fair number of sacrifice dumps. And then because Lagomos is so, you know, just, he makes a 2/1, he's an aggro deck, I tried to put in a bunch of aggro cards. And what I have ended up creating is the worst mid-range deck that you have ever seen upon this earth. It doesn't commit enough to hard removal to play the late game, but it doesn't commit enough to aggro to play the early game. And I'm not feeling it. What I should have done, and this is true of, I think, of mostly draft, but there's other formats where this is true, is like when you make a deck, you should do so with a plan on how you're going to win the game. It can be the worst plan ever. Your plan can be, I'm going to like hit my opponent once, and then I'm going to proliferate 9 poison counters onto them and build the entire deck around that idea. And that's a bad plan, but at least it's a plan. My deck has no plan. And as we're going to see over the next hour or so, it's going to be punished for having no plan. It's especially going to be punished because our first matchup is Ivy, which is probably not super ideal for us. A Braid was a later add to the list after I found that I was just getting hammered by artifacts. I think we can still probably do this. It depends how well this person knows how to play Ivy. So, playing Ivy, we'll keep. What you want to do is you usually don't want to actually play Ivy turn 2. You want to drop them turn 3 once you have a protection spell for Ivy, because the proper counterplay to Ivy is to just remove Ivy every single time they enter the battlefield ever. Instantly. Every time. And never question that thought. Just do it. Ivy needs board state in order to do stuff. Just don't let them get that board state. And I need cards in order to do things, and I'm not getting those either. So Cauldron Familiar, let's go. I should replace this with that Changeling. If that's the other issue I've had with this deck. I have 40 lands. I don't seem to draw them. Okay, again, they've replayed Ivy. So, Mutavault. Now, the correct choice here. Actually, I should have attacked first, but whatever. So, with Ivy, I'm going to probably still lose this game, but Ivy's primary weakness is that Ivy in themselves is kind of fragile, right? It's a build-around commander deck. You need to be able to protect Ivy. You shouldn't be playing Ivy if you can't protect Ivy. You just don't put him into play. It's a perfectly valid choice. If you do that, then your opponent is going to have time to respond, and if they've got time to respond, they've got time to just beat you in the head. You have 1 green. You're not countering my commander. You could absolutely make something fight him next turn, but... But regardless, because I've put all this other junk in, right? Liliana, Imistrom, Mask actually could probably stay. This should probably be cut. Because I put all this other junk in, I don't necessarily have the cards to actually have played aggressively aggro here into Ivy, despite the fact that I kept burning it down. I might just make a brand new deck. Is anybody watching the stream? If nobody's really... Oh, we got 1 viewer. Hooray! Then I might actually work on trying to make this deck be functional. I'm gonna cut Ghost Lantern, though. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna punch people in the face. And hope my opponent doesn't have untap. Mutavault is interesting, sorry. I like Mutavault. Let's play the Cauldron Familiar last. Mutavault actually probably does belong in the aggro deck. But so does whenever a creature you control dies, or a bunch of other tinier stuff. That's real bad. Do I have any hard removal for that, or is that just game? I guess I can plumb the Forbidden, and... No, it's probably game. Do I have a way to make them block me in a stupid manner? I don't think I do. Okay, brain. Give me an out. Drawing 2 more cards doesn't get me enough stuff here. Drawing 3 more cards doesn't get me enough stuff here. So I have an out. If they, for some reason... Nope, they had to block the other way. Yeah. Alright. No, that wouldn't actually be... Oh. Interesting. Pendragon Besiege is one of those cards that I've been wanting to try out and haven't really gotten a chance. You're in mono blue. That one. I wonder if that applies to... It does. Now that's a fun interaction. Let's get rid of... Ghost Lantern, I guess. Not a particularly useful one, but that's very funny. Does that make Pendragon get besieged, basically? Well, they're gonna get a lot of cards. A lot of cards. There's no real point to blocking. 9, 10, 11, that's lethal. Oops. Never mind, there was a point to blocking. The point was to not die. But they still had lethal. Oh, come on! Okay, good. Oh, alright, let's make some tweaks. I kind of want to keep Pendragon Besieged, though, just because it's such a... It's a very fun card, and I haven't gotten a chance to use it much. Alright, let's make some high-end cuts. Alright. Eldest Reborn. Cut. Crux of Fate. Cut. Painful Quandary. Cut. We could run a Flame Spell instead. Tigrid. We're not a synergy with that. Blood on the Snow. Liliana we're actually going to keep as a bomb. Cavalier of Night. Cut. Languish. Cut. Phyrexian Scriptures. Cut. Yawgmoth as a sack engine. We're actually going to keep him for a moment. Imstorm Predator, we'll consider it. I want token creation, sack outlets, and other scruggly things. Poem the Forbidden, Priest of Forgotten Bats, Velky. Velky's both a bomb and an early game play. I like him. Dropper, Hexproof. Let's cut Swiftfoot Boots. Weatherlight completed implies that the game goes long enough to make the Weatherlight activated. We're going to cut that. Torchlight Fiend. Most of these lands are fine. So that gives us 10 cards to work with, right? Duress, Eaten Alive. I like Eaten Alive. I don't like its speed. See, I feel like if I was just... Like, this deck does have a lot of early game drops. I just don't draw them. Abrade can stay because it's a dual threat, so can Kroxa. Pendragon should probably be cut, but I'm not going to because I'm a stupid man. Alright, whenever another creature dies. Blood Artist we already have. I actually rather like you. That's pretty good. Tabarax is not much good. Headless Riders for zombies. Karna, Bloodfist of Keld. Annex Hearted in the Forge is decent. Pitiless Plunderer is less decent. I would need a token creation engine. Where's the once draw card once a turn? Kixian Puppeteer. Eh. Whenever a creature dies. Eternal Thirst. White. Archghoul. Bastion. Yeah, let's try that. And then let's try... Actually, Erebos I'm fine with. That's kind of expensive, but... Meat Hook. Yep. Just adding a bunch more expensive stuff. Which actually is what specifically I'm not supposed to be doing. Vindictive Vampire I don't really want. But I want Massacre Girl. Massacre Girl actually might be kind of useful, but let's just go grab some red burn spells. Deals damage. Aggressive Sabotage, nah. Let's grab Lightning Bolt because I went to the trouble to craft it. Four damage to target creature or planeswalker. I would prefer stuff that can hit any target. Let's grab Shock. How many more do we have? 4 more cards? See, Cavalcade of Calamity doesn't work because we're too high. Cemetery Gatekeeper could work. Let's try Sticky Fingers. Grape Shot, not really. Magma, where's that? Bone Crusher Giant works. And let's get... Where's the big X cost? You know who would probably work well in this deck? There we go. Chandra, Awakened Inferno. And I want... It can't be countered. What do we got? Which can't be prevented. Isn't there one other one? Maybe it was just Banefire. Versus Rage Kicker is too high. Let's try Banefire. Alright, let's tweak this out. So we've cut a lot of the garbage, and we've added a bunch of early game stuff, because I'm not playing an hour of the worst mid-range deck ever. I'm just not doing that. Oh good, it's Ginny, old Ginny Gatixi, so I want to be mulliganing for hand kill. Valky would let me see the hand, but he won't let me kill it. Faceless Haven, Sanguine Brushstroke, and no red. So, yeah, mulligan. See, the thing is, it's probably a control list. Let's push it. This is a bad idea, but we'll try it. Never mind, we top decked the one card I was looking for. What do we got? Offer you can't refuse, Captivating Gyre, Chemister's Insight. Now I need a way to draw a red spell. They don't have any creatures in hand. Ashnod, Captivating Chef. If I draw red land, I'm in a really good position. Unstable Obelisk. No red land. I'm playing aggro. Let's play aggro. Oh, hey, I'm going to borrow that. Okay, they're going to have 4 next turn. They'll use Chemister's Insight. They'll then 2 to 5 to get Caged Sun. What does this do? Turn up to 3 target creatures, then they'll return everything to my hand. Okay. If I accelerate, doesn't do too much for me. Right? Decline. I really needed a red mana. This is what I mean by I'm gonna go double check the land count after this, but I'm almost positive it's 40. I know what your hand is. You're not holding mana for anything sneaky. This is turn up to 3 target creatures, right? Let's do this in the right order. I kind of want them to be forced to deal with Valky. Yeah. I'm going to force them to deal with Valky. I think it's fine to get the non-legendary copy, because they don't have answers for Valky right now. Yeah, so they'll Chemister's Insight. And now as long as they don't pull the 1 mana... Yep. Alright. Actually, so if they... Let's see about this. If they don't deal with... Okay, interesting. That's not good, because that means they got a board clear in their hand, most likely. Did they seriously get the return everything your opponent controls to their hand? Called it! Now, is there a bright side or a way I can take advantage of this? Yes, actually. Let's replay Valky. Let's grab that. And then let's make a very potentially risky play here and get rid of Unstable Obelisk. And now they don't have mana for Caged Sun. So if they don't hit another land, they are actually in kind of a sticky spot for at least a little bit. Or they can just play the Gilded Lotus. Lovely. Oh, okay, so they'll have Caged Sun next turn, but they don't have it this turn. They don't know about Demon's Disciple. They don't have counterspells for other stuff yet. Let's just... What's the most aggro I can put onto the board? Probably Legion Warboss. I'm still grumpy about the River's Rebuke, the perfect River's Rebuke, but that is how the game works. Alright. Now, here's a question for you, dear opponent. You Oops. Should have gone with the Caged Sun. Let's put the 1/1 on Ashnod. I don't want any more power tokens right now. I just want as much damage as I can easily run into their face. Now, are they going to have a second Whelming Wave? Because that might just be end of the game for me if they do. Now, the right choice for them here is Caged Sun, but that was also the right choice last turn. I don't know why they're not doing it. Maybe they didn't read how it works? Yeah. My dude. Play the Caged Sun. It's a good card. Ashnod can still attack in. So can pretty much everyone else. Let's do this. Casualty, sack the Demon's Disciple because he's about to die if I keep him out anyway. We're just going to go for the rushdown. This doesn't have trample. Yep. Interesting. Okay. That's got to attack, and there's no reason to not attack with Ashnod. Decline. Body dropper. Last turn. So now you're going to play the Caged Sun, right? Or they're going to go search for jank. Okay. I see some problems with what they just did. Those are not my problems. 1 second. I need to count something. 1 damage, 2 damage. Well. Let's see if that gets 2 more. Okay. Now I think I just... I'm gonna sack. Yep, and that's game. Okay, that did much better than I thought it would after those tweaks. But that was basically just using Obnixilis as my commander since I ended up casting him twice, and I didn't even cast Lagomos once. Also a very spicy opening hand that I probably should not have kept. But that's how it goes. Oh. The other thing I was thinking about doing is I was thinking it might be fun to make a quick, like, review of all the new historic Brawl commanders, but I'm a bit mixed on if that's worth doing. Mox Amber, Cauldron Familiar. By force, we are playing into Croxa, the very annoying. I'll keep. I think I probably discard Brotherhood's End here. I probably discard by force. I feel like their turn 2 is going to be Arcane Signet, probably. Or Croxa Reanimation, but... Let's go with the Vengeful Strangler, since it's a slightly bigger body. I haven't decided which one I give up yet. Okay, well, we're going to get a chance to use by force, so, ya. I have the same amount of land as you, friend. I just, you know. I added Bifrost just because I kept getting hosed by artifact decks. Just play Croxa, you'll force me to give up a card. That still works. 2 cards, then lose graveyard. This has turned into an aggro match. So, let's play aggro. Simian Swing. Now I have to hope that you're not running any form of long-term control-y stuff. I don't think there's a single land that I'd really want right now, or a single card, but... Mill 3. You may put an artifact if you don't. Oh, sell for a Spirit Rings. It's a 3-2, right? That trades, that dies. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story. Ball face. And turn. Oh. I guess he does look a little bit like Ragnaros. Oh no, I lose 3 life. Because I'm out of cards in hand. Ooh, hey, you got the good Village Rites combo. I think I have that in this list. Is there a reason to play this before attacking? No. Not that I can see. No, the correct choice here is probably the Vengeful Strangler. Yep, because now I don't get to take advantage of the Vengeful Strangler's ability. Which bites for me, but is good for you. And now you get to replay your 6/6. I think there's one tiny problem with what is about to happen for you, though. If they don't spot it... Uh-oh. Okay, so this might be more of a mid-range deck if they're running Thought Distortion. That's usually the counter... Oh, do they have a board wipe, though? I don't think they can get Lagomos for free. I think they have spot removal. But I don't think they get free removal of each. That works. That's got lifelink. 1 second, it's time for math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? That should be lethal. Now we unreconfigure Simian Sling. We go to combat. We swing for 4 with these. Hit for 4. Tap Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Alright, there's another one. I have like a reverse stream curse where if I make a deck, I'm like, this is so cool, I can't wait to show it on stream. It does terrible. If I make a deck and I'm like, this is the worst thing I have ever made in my life, showed on stream, apparently I win 2 games in a row against decks that I really shouldn't have a matchup for. Oh. I kind of want to do an All Will Be One set review. I don't know if I do that as a stream or if I just throw together a video. Brawl is at Viceroy. I'm taking the free mulligan. Really? I'm going to take another free mulligan. I should keep the first opening hand. It's a really pretty effect on the enchantment cards. Mulligan. Mulligan to 5. Sure, why not? 1, 2, 3. Ghost Lantern, I thought I cut that, but I guess I didn't. And Meat Hook Massacre. Mountain. Light Fiend. No, the downside is... So Ral Zarek, if I remember... Ral isn't Viceroy. This isn't Ral Zarek. What is this one? Total number of instant sorceries you own in exile in your graveyard. So this is probably combo. And that's probably bad for me. Let's do Blight Step Pathway. So if it is combo, then the rest of their... Or it doesn't even have to be combo. It just has to be like mid-range into combo. I know this is a comp list. I just don't know what the comp list is, and I don't know how it works. Let's look that up real quick while we wait. Someone wants rare dualies. I mean, there's a lot of non-rare dualies. What does the Historic Brawl Hub have for Brawl? Is this the version from War? I think it is. Brawl War. No, this isn't the War version. This is... Well, that's fortunate for me, and significantly less fortunate for my opponent. What is the other Raw called? Alright, so nobody's running it as an active league commander. So it should be Dooley in... Should be Dooley down here. Alright, Royal Scions. I'm not seeing it. I would have expected it in... Alright, also, while we're here, let's make some other quick patches. I'm gonna go upload... I'm gonna go upload this deck list after this game. Just because, and then I'll update the video with it. Just because then anybody... Because I think this is probably not... It's a starting point. I don't think it's good yet, though. For example, I might be about to win this game, but I think that's because my opponent has decided that it's sandwich time, as opposed to my incredible deck building skills. That's my thought. They're like, oh yeah, it's time to make a sandwich. Guess it's a free win. We'll see. It's costing me time. The only true resource. Also, Gav, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. 2 questions that I ask people who like to chat and stuff like that is, how's your day going, and how did you find out about the stream? This might be the timeout? Yep, 3rd timeout. Alright, what we get? More spiders. Let's go for another one. I'm surprised I haven't seen any Rusko yet. I bet that since I've said that, the next game is going to be Rusko. He's just such a spicy boy. Here we go. Oh, it's Joria. Okay, Joria is... Its combo, it's going to be... Usually, this is not what I want into Joria. Free mulligan. I love... Okay, let me show you... So what I should do, and I didn't, is I should mulligan until I get... I should have mulliganed until I got... I can't play Pendragon this siege this turn. Until I got Thoughtseize. So Joria is traditionally the simplest Paradox Engine list. You literally just reduce the cost of artifacts to nothing, play out your entire hand. Alright. I mean... So how does that work? It's just Voltaic Surge. Okay, we got a... We'll play the Haunted Ridge. Now, it's possible we're playing against a Joria deck that isn't instantly that, but the correct play into that is to just remove Joria every time it comes into play. Let's do Lagomos. And swing in, hit for 2. But you've got to remove Joria every time they get played, because otherwise, the second they come out, you basically lose. Though this is looking less and less like... Alright. No, we're going to go for the smart play instead of the fun one. No tax. Demon's Disciple. Oh, look. I'll sacrifice my card that was going to be sacrificed anyway. And you can give up your token production machine. There's Celestis. This might be a slower paced Joria list. Okay. This is an opportunity that I'm going to take. I guess they can scry one first. What do we get rid of? Mystic Forge. That's a decent pick. So that's actually a pretty good position to be in, because no Mystic Forge means... So we're going to do Pendragon Besieged next turn, because that'll force them to... Probably not block? Oh, that's redrawn. That'll get them cards back. I don't love that. So... I would need 2 more black symbols, which I am not in immediate. I can do Ash Nods. Yeah, let's do this instead. Next to combat. Second main phase. We do Erebos. Sack you down. Get Erebos out. And now we have a card engine for next turn. And potentially we can use that to remove Joria. They didn't find what they were looking for. That's good. They're probably going to crack Hedron Archive for cards, I've got to imagine. So, or they can just start the combo here. Like, that's the mildly aggravating thing about playing against. Yep, and then you get another card. The joys of playing against Joria Weatherlight Captain. And now if they have any mana, they can just get another card. Oh boy. Joria is a very good Paradox Engine list. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Dual colors and J, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Joria, yep. There's a couple versions of that. Stone Coil for... I don't know that I agree with that. They could have done Stone Coil for 1. Oh, but it's so that they can get protection from Lagomos. That's fair. Untap Voltaic. Okay. That's 1 to pip. I kind of want 1 pip, 2 pip. I think that's probably the better call. Because that hits me 5. Could I have done that differently? I could have... Yeah, that maybe should have gone a different way. Is there any reason to not attack with that elemental? This will trade. Do I want that? Yes. This will kill something. Is there any reason to not attack with the elemental? I don't have any tools to sack it. It will cost them 2 life to block it, and if they have to block it, they're not blocking other things. So here we go. And I can draw 2 more cards. Yep. Let's get rid of Voltaic Servant. The thing about committing to trying to remove Joria is that... Oh, they're going to get a bunch of treasure for that, though. And more land. They went for the bottom of the deck, though. So basically, if this top card was a land, I win. If it's not a land, this game gets real spicy real quick. That is one of the worst possible cards it could have been for me. The worst part is, I don't even have 2 creatures on the board. Okay. Oh, okay. So, I disagree with what they just did. They should have used Saheeli to make a copy of Cloud Key. Maybe it doesn't work like that, though, because you choose the type when it enters. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they shouldn't have copied Cloud Key. They are digging, though. Was that a combo piece they found? That's good. They've only got 3 mana left. That's not true. They've got... Artifact you control becomes copying of the target artifacts. They have 6 mana left. And I'm really hoping that mousing over didn't just point that out to them. They have 6 mana left if they're willing to use Cloud Key. Or slightly less if they're willing to do it a different way. Oracle of the Alpha. Not great. The bright side is that a lot of those cards are not oh no, but the boxes are. The boxes will free draw. I just need 3 more damage, though. Alright, snow covered. Let's do the Inquisition. So at least we know what we're working with. And then I think I have lethal. Probably. If they're gonna do something, they gotta do it now. Okay. Yep. Yep. And that's game. Playing against Emery than Joria. I haven't really seen Emery. Joria frustrates me sometimes because you can play a very good game, and then if they just get off like 1 or 2 cards, game's over. Right? Like they can just chain card into card into card into card. And the first, the first 98% of the game, which then rapidly becomes the first 50% of the game, because they play Paradox Engine, and then you just get hosed. Okay. Ah, Scarab God. Scarab God Man, I probably sound very pessimistic today. I do not like playing against Scarab God, though. I really don't. I don't think Scarab God is unfair or broken. It's just that Scarab God punishes decks that don't run Graveyard Hate. And I don't always run Graveyard Hate. And then I get punished. And then I complain about having to play against Scarab God. It's a fun card. I actually kind of... It's a really fun card. This is the sort of card that I love, right? It's very hard to remove. It has a really cool triggered ability. Its activated ability lets you steal and make copies of stuff and do things from graveyards. It's a good card. I just hate playing into it when it keeps coming back every single turn. Because I don't run Graveyard Hate and I don't run Exile. But I guess the other thing is, like, since Scarab God, there's so many decks for it at this point, it's like, I'm not sure that I'd be able to make anything that would be super interesting to anyone. It probably is my... Is it my favorite god? I like Klothys. Are there any other gods I really like? Klothys and Thassa. And then back in the first Theros block, when we had blocks, back in the first Theros set, there was the... Let's play a mountain. We'll do Valky turn 2. Okay, so this might just be Zombie Tribal, in which case there is a small but meaningful chance. What do we get rid of here? Oh. You don't have any black mana. Oh no, you got that swamp. Why did I think that was an island? So... Xander's Wake, yep. I'm not blocking you. Next turn will be Black Market Corruption, right? Let's get another black source. I would like to get Ob Nixilis out fast. But I should wait just one more turn. And then I can... Yep, Black Market Connections. Black Market Connections, Phyrexian Arena. What's the other one? Those are all enchantments, and I am playing the two colors that do not deal with enchantments. Can't do Altar and anything else of interest, so... You know what? Actually, this works. And now they can't use Shambling Gas to get rid of Ornithopter, which I like. Next to combat. No attacks. Ob Nixilis. Cast with Causality. Sack that. We're just gonna rush it. Though, I've pushed myself a little bit out of the range of fast aggro, though. Which I could get punished for here. Especially if they just do Bontu and sack a bunch of stuff. No. I had to use hard removal on it. I'm going to block that. They get another treasure token, right? Why did I block that? No, they'd get the treasure from Black Market Connections next turn. But I gave them another free card, which is probably not worth it. That said, I do have them ever so slightly on clock. That'll be 2 red. two options here. I can wipe the board, and they get one more card. Or I can just try to make this go long and make them stab themselves to death on black market connections. How many zombies do they have out? One? Oh, so that will actually pay for itself. No, it won't, because that's not a life gain effect. Okay, they had to go up on two. That's actually kind of good. Let's see what they're going to block with. Oops. No, you're not. Plundering Barbarian does not do as much for me as I would like here. They just went for just treasure, so are we likely to see the Scarab God pop out now? Yes, we are. And they do not want me to be allowed to keep that in play. I would like the alternative. I can take a hit. I can afford to play Lagomos again. Let's do this. Xander's Wake is really good. Just for maintaining pressure. Okay. There's my graveyard hate. And that's most of their juice. Which means if I can just make this game go long, I can win. How do I make this game go long? Well, I'm going to need to chump next turn. I don't see much point in... Wandering Barbarian can trade with the Shapeshifter. Create a treasure token. And now I have... Oh, I have access to that, actually, if I really need it. I lose 1 life, and they scry 1. Alright, 10 more life. I just need to get rid of 10 life. They got their Planeswalker. Do me a favor. Do the -2. Do the -2. I beg of you. Do the -2 that you really shouldn't do. I want to have... Do I have any way of putting cards back in my hand? That gives him another card, which might have been dumb. I get my crummy Reflection of Kiki Chiki. Oh, they got Morbid Opportunist. But that's not good. Lagomos will trade, which I don't really want. Bone Crusher will not trade. Kaido is not immediately a problem, but will become one. My best bet is to just keep chipping them, right? So... just keep chipping. So they're on what? They take 3 damage a turn, right? Oh, but I need one more to actually finish them. They're on a 3-turn clock. They're on a 2-turn clock. Oh, but they got rid of my Planeswalker. I forgot they added that. Okay, they're on a 5-turn clock. I would not have done it that way. I am on a no-turn clock, so I am just going to take your 5 to the face. And now I need to think of something interesting. You have 2 blockers. That is a 1 colorless, right? One, two, three. That's lethal. No attacks. Create a copy of Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Target any number of players. Submit 1. Sack the token and Kiki-Jiki. Target one other player. Sack the token that's already been... I don't think it'll work that way. I don't think it wants to, but I'm not going to take any chances. That was dumb. I should have tapped for black mana first. Yep. Now they need an instant speed spell that gives them life, because this version of Meathook Massacre has been heavily nerfed. If this was real Meathook Massacre, though, I would probably have lost here. Swamp. That was the wrong order. I'm a fool. And that's game. All right. Oh. We're closing in on just an hour, which is usually when I wrap these things up, which means it's just about 7. Oh, someone pinged me. I was like, is somebody talking to me about something important? Oh, it's still Kieran. Unfortunately, I already have that one. No. No, they're pinging me information about cat girls. Thanks, guys. Historic Brawl. Better Lagomos. Lagomos. Yeah, so that's going to be the stream for today. As always, if you like my stuff, please subscribe. I have a bunch of other little projects and stuff that I work on. I'm just gotta edit a few tiny little things here before I wrap this all up. Overall, how do I feel about Lagomos? Yeah, I like him. I'm sure there's a clever way to use this second activated ability that he has of searching for stuff. But it's probably a Paradox Engine list. I don't like Paradox Engine. So, you know. He did a much better deck list. And I feel like he enables sort of that aggro-y playstyle much better than he does the other one. Yeah, as always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. If you like stuff, please, you know, give it a like, subscribe. If you don't like stuff, please let me know in the comments or chat things I can do to improve. Always looking to work on that. Oh, did that work? Yes. I stream on Mondays and Fridays, though in the immediate foreseeable future that may change. But for anybody who stopped by today, Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.